Hello everyone, this is Gorax. Today I will show you my new Vortex team that got me way over 80 million damage without any extra hassle. This team can still be improved. This team is also easy to set up once you have the core heroes. Keep in mind, this is not a free-to-play friendly setup, but rather endgame team. Here we go again, 150 stacks, 76 million, no Sagomir, no haste, no ally heroes, Rose being utilized, helping us with attack down, defense down, and a little bit of healing, which is nothing compared to Garius. The only thing that dies here fast is our Ardreth, because she's got this ancestral set which absorbs the damage from the team, and this damage that is happening at 180 stacks and above is huge. So this is why she is the first one to fall, because she takes all that damage, but we are doing 82.5 million. That is my highest score yet. So let's go over the team and equipment as well, and the timing, because that's important. So these are the statistics. Garfen is our main damage dealer here in this case. So first, let's introduce Ardreth, who's our legendary hero that is available through the Lunar Halo event. So Ardreth is a super tanky healer, basically defensive unit that heals and boosts healing, which in pair with Garius is such an amazing pick. Well, on top of that, she also grants a stack of defense and resistance to everyone once this passive gets to 10 stacks, which is quite fast, and she grants a 30% defense aura compared to Garius' standard 24%, so that's already a boost. She heals with her battle skill and grants defense up to the hero with the lowest HP, and when this skill is cast on a target below 50%, healing will be increased by 30% and that recharges the target's next battle skill by 50%, so this is huge. On top of that, her ultimate, which is Sanctuary Blessing with a very low cooldown, even without scrolls, she enhances the hero, increasing all healing received by 50% in the duration, and increases the hero's basic attack, dealing 300 defense. So it scales with defense. When enhanced, her each basic attack grants an ally with the lowest HP a healing, and this healing says 180%. But it is a huge healing and also a chance of dispelling a debuff from them. Now, you can either build her with skill haste, and you could see that with Sagomir. When people are playing her with Sagomir, they build her around haste, so we can rotate at 13.3 seconds. It's quite hard to get enough haste, maybe not on her, but on Garius, because we need a very good haste rune. So this setup will avoid that. We are going for 20-second casting, and yes, I'm using Solar King Horn here to boost the damage of the units she's healing. But if you really want to, you can go with more defensive approach, which means the heals she will be doing will be higher and the defense increase on her will be higher, so she will survive longer. We're using Ancestral Protection set, which gives us extra HP and also gives her a passive 15% damage reduction, while also transferring 15% of the damage that allies get. So this is actually something that kills us later at the highest stacks, because she absorbs so much damage, but it also helps damage dealers to survive and get over this 82 million threshold, over 80 million basically. So obviously this is not a free-to-play friendly team. You should have realized that. We're gonna use Garius as a second tank plus healer. And Garius doesn't really need a good set of items. I'm running him with this haste because I wanted to run this haste earlier on. He's the last man standing anyway. The core thing here is Gatekeeper's Staff. You need this staff to make this team work, because 100% of overheal, and he will heal for around 90,000, converts into shield. So he will make sure our heroes are at full HP, and on top of that, he will provide them with a shield that will absorb a lot, because he's got amazing scaling with defense, and this is what we want. We want defense on him. So as you can see, most of my stats, most of my equipment is defense oriented with HP as well, but this HP can't go over Ardreth's HP. She is going to be tank here. We could switch this equipment around. We could put him with the Ancestral Protection set as well. It will work, and put Ardreth with a little bit more, well, even different set here. But the thing here is, we don't really need the haste. So he's very versatile when it comes to equipment. He just probably should focus on huge stats like HP and defense. So you can build 2 defensive sets with like Ancestral Protection and Serious Light Armor as well. I mean, as you can see, I'm using these 2 sets and it works. Okay, he doesn't need Ancestral Protection because we already have one, right? So yeah, just use equipment that has the best stats. And since I don't farm equipment this season, I'm focusing on different heroes. And the sets that I have are not that good. So basically I'm looking for the stats. And as you can see, I only have like 3 pieces of equipment with the stats leveled up. And the other ones are actually not that good, don't have the secondary stats that I'll be looking for. So yeah, this is my choice basically. And same here, as you can see, only a couple pieces of equipment leveled. When it comes to our secondary stats, this is what we're looking for, this HP and defense. And as you can see, again, not many equipment leveled up, and this is my goal this season: reduce the amount of unnecessary equipment and use the right one. If I need a piece of equipment, I will farm it specifically. So main damage will come from Garfin. I don't have good artifacts. I only use Manticore statue. So if you have something better, good for you. So obviously this would increase her attack. If you got the specific Ice Blast artifact, you can choose that, or you can even go for well, I wouldn't go for that because it's very specific. If you run in Sagomir, you want that, but otherwise I would not. I mean, that mask that boosts the damage based on melee heroes. We still have 2, but this works really well. This is a budget artifact, and she's still beast. Now my crit damage is kind of low because the equipment I have here is not well optimized. As you can see here, we got attack and we got crit damage, and there's no much. I mean, yes, I could wear this, but then Shina will be left with nothing. And as you can see, there's only 2 pieces of equipment I could really use. When it comes to the gloves, I'm going for crit rate. Ideally, you want crit damage here. That will be a big boost, but you need crit damage with a very good crit rate. So if you get like triple roll here, then you're set. If not, then you need to keep looking basically. Otherwise, you want high crit rate and crit damage here with preferably attack percentage, but as you can see, it's hard to get, and I don't. And here again, I'm looking for like double, triple crit rate, but also crit damage. As you can see here, I'm basically only worrying about crit damage because Garfin only needs 80% crit rate. And then we go here again, looking for this crit rate, crit damage. Since I'm already at the cap of crit rate, I'm going for crit damage, but again, really hard to get good damage oriented equipment if you're not farming. As you can see, yes, I can get these stats as well. So, you know, things that can change basically and improve the damage further on. Crit damage rune with crit rate and attack percentage, and here we want attack with crit damage. This is one of my best runes. I mean, quadruple crit damage. Roll, however, HP, attack speed, and resistance. So the stats that we don't need. If I had a crit rate here, even basic 3-4%, that would be amazing. But we leave what we have and look for improvements later on. I've been not focusing on equipment. I've been focusing on the right team and leveling up heroes. As you can see, my roster here is quite good at this stage in the game. Moving forward, our enabler will be Shina instead of Bledin. You could use Bledin here as well, and it will work. Shina and Bledin, I've tested both of them. They do similar damage. However, I just love Shina. She's my favorite Ice Blast hero, and this is why I decided to go for her. I've built her with 100% crit rate. Bladin is easier to build because he only needs crit at 80%, so you can boost his crit damage through the glove. I'm using Inventor set again. This set has been nerfed, okay? It's harder to keep the stacks going, especially on non-Ice Blast heroes, but it still works for Ice Blast heroes, so it didn't really change much. As I said, crit rate gloves here with crit damage, full attack equipment, and I mean, yes, I'm using this artifact to grant 10% of her attack to every ranged hero, which is her and Rose. But if you have better artifacts, feel free to choose them. I mean, the artifacts that I have, as you can see on my main account, I'm focused on the legendary artifacts and I don't have resource to level up anything else. You could really put a crown on her and rotate her and Rose to have constant defense down, and that'll probably increase damage more than that artifact, but I just don't have resource to invest in that when I have option to purchase new legendary artifacts. Rune-wise, crit damage, attack, a little bit of skill haste as well. We want this to be up as much as possible. So if you have a good skill haste runes, you can consider using that. And if you go for a crown in your case here, you might consider a serial set as well. But my serial set is on Rose, and Rose was one of my favorite heroes. However, she did not work on Vortex or any other boss with a huge, basically a huge bosses. She's been fixed twice. And right now I'm utilizing her on Vortex because we finally have a Radiant hero that has attack penalty. On top of that, she also has healing and dispels a debuff. So what I'm doing is basically I'm casting her as I would any other attack penalty hero. And I'll go over the casting soon. We're using Witch's Remain, easy to apply. She's hitting multiple times depending on enlightenment, up to 6 times, and with enlightenment that I have on her, which is 354, she constantly hits with 6. Well, with basically as many as she can. Plus, she also gets a passive 20%, passive. She also gains an enlightenment, which is a 20%, so 1/5 here. Yeah, her healing is based on target's max HP and enlightenment, plus this healing also gets buffed by Ardreth's ultimate, because it is happening during the rotation, and I'll show you what's happening basically. Serial set to again boost the damage of our heroes and attack oriented stats, basically that's what we want, attack and enlightenment on her. Now let's go over the casting, because this is really important and it is super easy to set up compared to some other teams, right? So the typical skill casting interval, which is the right side, will be at 20 seconds, despite us having Garius at 16.7 and Ardreth at 15.7. We don't want to mess this up. We still want 20 seconds. I know there are certain teams with 13.3, but those utilize Sagomir's recharge, ultimate recharge through the passive. He throws a carrot and grants an extra ultimate energy. We're not doing that here. This is why we are using the easiest to set up skill casting interval. Doesn't require any haste, despite us having this haste. Doesn't require us to do any math. Then what we do is we have to set 3 heroes in a correct rotation, right? So Ardreth enhances herself for 10 seconds, and during that 10 seconds, every ally receives a 50% increase healing. So what we do here is we make sure that Garius' ultimate is being cast within 9.9 seconds of that ultimate, which means when there's 0.1 second left on Ardreth's ultimate, Garius casts a heal. And this allows us to rotate through the boss skills. 26.5 is perfect timing for boss, for absorbing boss skills, and the shield that will happen afterwards, and this is why Garius stuff is so important, this shield will absorb 3 attacks. Now, on top of that, during the same rotation, as you can see, if we start at 16.6, that means basically her ultimate finishes at 26.6, which covers Garius' ultimate and also grants this 50% extra healing for Rose's ultimate. Now, Rose's ultimate is cast when the boss casts his ultimate. The ultimate should happen at 20 seconds, but the animation is so long, it happens at 21. So as the boss is about to hit us, we apply attack penalty, we apply defense penalty, and on top of that, we make sure the heroes are at full HP, and then Garius will heal just before the first skill of the boss hits us and grants us a shield that will absorb all that damage, plus the single target damage and the defense down skill damage. When this defense down skill damage is happening, Ardreth casts her ultimate, and through her basic attacks, she will be able to heal us until Rose's ultimate, with those two combined, because this is still happening, she basically will have two heals happening at the same time, will apply attack penalty on the boss so the boss deals less damage, and then once all that is gone, all the healing is gone, we apply another healing plus a big shield. This is what helps us survive 210 stacks, which is quite an achievement. And within this time, our Gerfen will be able to do tremendous damage, which will allow our team to get to 80 million, which you could see. And the rotation is really simple, and you'll be able to see it in this fight. I'm not going to play the whole fight, because the fight takes 9 minutes. So I showed you at the beginning of the video, I showed you what's happening at the end, and now I'm going to show you the rotations. So look closely. Ardreth is casting her ultimate. During that ultimate, every auto attack she does will heal someone with the lowest HP and dispel them. Now Rose is casting her ultimate just before the boss ultimate, because that was the boss ultimate. And now as boss is about to cast his first kill, we'll have Garius healing and shielding. And that heal at the moment was only 59 million, because we don't have a full stack from Ardreth. So if we look closely, second rotation, Ardreth casts her skill, then we have Rose cast her skill, and then we have Garius 76,000 HP healed, but that's still without Garius having his stacks at max. So if we look at that, he's still at only 7% defense up, so not quite there yet. So if it's already speed up. Sorry, it feels so slow when you just recently played a content on fast recharge. As you can see here, now it's at 80,000. So this healing can go up to 99,000 once we get all stacks and enough defense. So yeah, the heal here is huge. And we're also getting quite a lot of buffs. So when there is a buff on the Vortex boss where our heroes gain damage based on the buffs, that will be huge. And as you can see, 85,000. I mean, this is a little bit of different equipment that I used to, but with the best defense equipment, I can get to... oh yeah, because he's only at 14 stacks, so it's not quite there yet. So as you can see, Garius's defense up, it's only at 16 stacks right now, so he will get to 20, plus the blessing, which is a blessing from Ardreth's, which also grants us extra defense. This is huge for Garius, and this is what makes Garius combo so super strong. So yeah, this is basically it. This is the rotation, super easy. You do not need anything. Rose has such a high chance of applying attack penalty and defense down that it's not possible to mix it. As you can see, the healing is now at 91,000 and there's still one more stack left. So yeah, tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye.